I'd like to take a few minutes to talk to you about some of the new security features that we've added to Windows 8. Now, Windows 7 is one of the most secure operating systems on the market today, but security is never a place that we want to stop innovating in. We constantly want to press forward in this area at Microsoft. Let's talk about a scenario to see how Windows 8 can keep us safe. You've been surfing the internet and downloaded a new game that everyone's talking about on your favorite social media site. What you don't know is when you install the game on the next reboot, it modifies the boot process such that malware-based versions of an OS loader starts before Windows. This malware OS loader then loads Windows so you never realize it's on your system and that your system is compromised. Because this malware was running before the OS was loaded, your antivirus and even Windows knows absolutely nothing about it. Windows 8 addresses this with a UEFI, which is a modernized replacement for traditional BIOS. UEFI will check the signature on the OS loader when it starts the machine and compares it to a list of approved signatures that are stored in a protected space within the UEFI chip. Because the malware loader is not signed with an approved signature, the UEFI chip will not allow that malware to load. Because I have UEFI and its secure boot feature on this machine, you can see instead of an infected machine, I get an error screen warning me of the problem and asking me to get assistance to clean it. So we have secure boot ensuring that only valid, signed operating systems get loaded. But what about the critical files for Windows like drivers and system files? To protect those more securely in Windows 8, we've introduced Trusted Boot. Let's take a look at what happens if one of these gets compromised. Even with good anti-malware technology, sometimes things still get through. Let me give you a scenario. We've all gotten those spam mails with random attachments from our quote-unquote friends, but what happens if you run one of those attachments? Let's say you receive an attachment called Get Rich Quick. Well, what could go wrong with clicking that? I'll go ahead and run this file. Now, Windows has a lot of protection that are normally in place to help protect me, but for this demo, I've gone ahead and already disabled them all. I double-click on the file, and we can see instead of getting rich, all I got was a richly infected machine. I'll go ahead and reboot Windows. When the machine restarts, you'll notice that Windows has realized that something is wrong, and it has been tampered with. It automatically detected this, and instead of starting up, it's preparing the recovery environment. Now, let's let Windows boot to a safe and secure environment to repair itself. After it's booted safely into that recovery environment, now Windows is looking at all of the drivers and critical system files to figure out what has been attacked and builds a list of that. Once it's got that list, it can start to repair the damage and restoring the files from a safe and secure Windows file store, which is on that PC. With the machine repaired, Windows restarts one last time and starts like normal. As you've seen, Windows 8 is able to protect itself during each step of the startup process, from OS loading through the driver loading process. And with technology such as early load anti-malware, that chain of protection continues all the way through.